Hey everybody, welcome back to Rachel's Kitchen Table. On today's episode, I'm going to make for you a sweet heat salmon with garlic and herb boiled red potatoes. Doesn't that sound amazing? And I cannot wait to get started. But before I do, I just want to mention that on 1 year ago today, my very first episode of Rachel's Kitchen Table aired on YouTube, and since then it's been quite the journey and could not be here without each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful that you guys come in and tune in to my videos. So thank you so much. And if you're new, hey, welcome. All right, so today the first thing we want to do is start with our potatoes. Again, always start with the ingredient that's going to take the very longest. You don't want to be waiting on anything while your other dishes are getting cold. So I'm just going to cut these small petite red potatoes in half. They don't take as long to cook, and that's a plus. I'm just going to bring this over. I'm just going to put these in a Dutch oven. Okay, and I'm just going to go cover these potatoes with water. You don't want too much water. You don't need that much. Just enough to cover it, just maybe by like an inch, and you're good to go. I've got these on high heat, and I'm just going to add a little bit of, of kosher salt. Just so we can season those potatoes while they're in that water and are boiling. And to kind of kick off the flavor profiles, I'm going to start with about 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic, and we're going to just add this right into the water. And what this is going to do is basically it's going to infuse our potato water, our starch water, whatever you want to call it, and give those potatoes a lot of flavor at their very starting point of cooking. That way you get the maximum amount of flavor. And the next thing we want to do is we want to take fresh rosemary. You can use dry. If you don't have fresh, it'll be just fine. All right. And so we're looking for 1.5 tablespoons. So when you try to take rosemary off of the stem, you just grab it by the top, put your fingers you grab it by the top and you just pull your fingers down and you've got rosemary. Okay, and these other ones that are very top, you can just pull off. All right. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to chop this up, and you can just make sure that you're mincing it as best that you can, because you are going to infuse the water. You want to keep that rosemary with the potatoes for serving. All right, so I'm just going to continue to mince this until it's done. And we are going to just scrape that together, and then we are going to put it right into the pan. Okay, and then this is just going to boil until the potatoes are fork tender and nice and creamy. All right, now on to the softened rosemary. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically use this as a sauce, if you will. Not really a sauce, just a coating of butter and rosemary poured over the potatoes once they're finished. So we're just going to take the rosemary off of its stem again, looking for 1 tablespoon. So, and we're going to chop it up as well. I just want to, usually to help the rosemary kind of give off its oils and flavor, you just kind of want to beat it up a little bit. Okay, all right, so that's about 1 tablespoon. And one of them got away from me, hang on. All right. So that's about 1 tablespoon. Okay, so now that I have the 2.5 tablespoons of butter in here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on to low. Also going to give my potatoes a stir. I'm going to reduce the heat in the potatoes just a little bit to probably like a medium high. Okay, so that they're just not going to boil over. So I'm going to take this and just add it right to the pot. Okay, you guys, While the potatoes boil and the rosemary softens in the butter, I'm going to go ahead and start with the salmon. I have my cast iron skillet in the oven heating. The reason I do that is because even a cast iron skillet can get hot spots if you just heat it up on the burner. All right. Okay, so the cast iron is out of the oven. First thing I need to do is get some sort of fat in this pan. So I'm going to turn on the burner though to a medium high because we need that smoking point very high for our fish. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter and I am going to just add that right in. And then I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of olive oil just to kind of make sure that that butter doesn't burn. Okay, so in the meantime, I just want to mention the rosemary softened, the butter is melted, so we're going to turn this burner off because I don't want that to burn. Okay, this pan is ready to go, so we're going to get this salmon seasoned up really quickly. So what we're going to do is make a rub for our salmon, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. The thing I'm going to add is a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Right on in. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. All right, so we're just going to stir this together and make for a really nice rub for our sweet heat salmon. All right, and at this point I'm just breaking up any bits of brown sugar that the spoon won't get. I just don't want chunks of any specific ingredient. I want everything nice and smooth. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and make sure that everything's incorporated well and simply just pour it right on over the fish. So all of your components are there, your salt, your pepper, already in the rub. And you just want to make sure you just kind of rub it in really well. I just broke the golden rule of wet hand, dry hand, so we're going to switch hands. Okay, and you can pick up the salmon and just kind of use what's fallen down on your plate or whatever you're using to season your fish and just kind of pick up the rest of it. And we'll just rub it in. Okay, do the same here. And our salmon is ready to go. All right, you guys. So the fish is ready. One thing I did fail to mention on this one, sorry about this. You know what? It happens. Things happen. It'll be fine. The best thing to do before you start seasoning your fish is to oil your fish. I've done that after the fact this time. It'll be okay, but usually we do it before just so that after you season it, you kind of just don't want to put oil on it. I'm going to do it this time just because, here we're going to, all right. So I'm just going to make sure my fish is nice and oiled. And if you do that before you put it into the grease, stick core it'll have, or the better the non-stick surface it'll create. We're just going to go ahead and add our salmon right to it, skin side down. And always add it with your protein away from you when you put it in the pan. That way the oil doesn't splash back up at you. All right, so we're only going to cook it on this side. We are not flipping it by any means. What we're going to do is we're going to turn our oven onto the broil setting, and then once this has cooked on the bottom and gotten a nice crust on that skin, then we're going to put it under the broiler and finish it off. It'll take about 3 to 5 minutes to finish off the fish. Remember to always start with the lowest amount of time, so we'll start with 3 minutes. We don't want to overcook it, so we can always put it back in, but can't redo overdone. All right, it's been 3 minutes, so I just want to check the fish. Oh yeah, oh yeah, guys, there we go. Okay. feels great. So we're gonna leave it at 3 minutes. And it looks great too. Here, I'll show you. There's your fish. We're gonna go ahead and put, just top it off with a little bit of parsley for color. So the potatoes are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drain them off really quickly. All right, they've been drained off. And now I wanna go ahead and add them back to the pot and just take care to scrape off any of the rosemary or the garlic that happens to be left behind in the colander, because this is what we want to flavor those potatoes. Now that these potatoes have been drained, we're going to go ahead and take our butter and we are going to drizzle that right on top of them. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of this out of here and then just stir it together. So I am going to add just a sprinkle of salt to these beauties. Now you can add pepper if you'd like. I'm going to leave that alone. If my family wants to add pepper to their dish, they can, but I just think it's unnecessary here. Those herbs and that garlic, I think that it'll be plenty for flavor. You don't need to add the pepper into this one. So let's give it a taste. I'm dying to know. I'm just going to do it right in the pot. Is that terrible? I don't know, but if it is, well, that's all right. Oh, it's very hot. Ooh. Not overdone. Creamy. Delicious. Could use a pinch more salt, so we're going to add more salt. Okay. All right. And I think that's all she wrote, guys. Okay, now comes my favorite part. Plating. You guys, I just want to take a couple of potatoes. These are going to be very filling, so I just want to take a few, set them there. All right. And we're going to take a piece of salmon and just lay it right there. Oh, and last but not least, we do need some lime juice. Lime goes perfect with the heat, right? So we're going to get some lime juice. Okay, so I want the maximum juice out of my lime. So I'm going to roll it with the palm of my hand and a little bit of elbow grease. Okay, so we're going to cut it in half. So we're just going to cut a little wedge for everybody. All right. For your dining pleasure, sweet heat salmon and garlic and herb boiled red potatoes. All right, finally, time to taste it. So I'm just gonna squeeze my lime juice right on top of my fish. And that skin feels really crispy. And the skin on a salmon is edible, you guys. All right, here we go. Let's see. Wow. That salmon is perfectly cooked. Beautiful flavor. I get the sweet and I get the heat. And that skin is so crispy and it just adds a level of texture to that dish that makes it like just superb. Now for the potatoes, let's see how we did. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can get full on flavor there. Garlic, butter, rosemary, salt, We added the perfect amount of salt right there at the end, and that just put those potatoes right over the top. They're flavorful, they're delicious. You guys, this dish came together in less than a half an hour. It's very simple to make, perfect for any weeknight for you to make for your family. It's delicious. You guys, thank you guys so much for all of your support over this last year. It's been amazing. I am so excited for the next chapter. I hope you will all stay with me for it and keep cooking with me. So with that, you guys, please subscribe to my channel. Please like my videos and share them with your friends. Tell everybody. I am on social media, so look me up there as well. And you guys, thanks. Just thank you. You guys are amazing. All right, you guys, until next time, happy eating. Bye.